Now, I'm no huge sniper fan, but when the classic was revealed, I admit I got a little bit excited. Its positive stat kind of resonated with me. Charge and fire shots independent of zoom. And while at the time I didn't quite understand what that meant, I was, as I said before, very excited. What I thought it meant was that I could run around charging shots without zooming in at normal speed, then scope in and fire them whenever I wanted. Unfortunately, what it actually meant was that I can charge shots without scoping in, but I will still have all the penalties of scoping in, such as slow movement, although I can still jump for some reason. But I can't fire in midair. Yeah, so the weapon didn't really turn out to be what I expected it to be. And while the weapon is actually really fun to use, and every time I use it I like it a little bit more, although it doesn't get any better, it's pretty atrocious. There are some things about it, just its close range defense, its unique style. It's like fusing the Ambassador with the Brass Beast. It's like a really powerful Ambassador, but you have to make yourself so vulnerable to use it. It's really quite funny. Getting a little off topic, but anyway, what I'm trying to do here is kind of bring it back to the original vision, the original way I thought the weapon would be, and that is by giving myself a speed boost. I've got another YouTuber, Your Wishes here, helping me out right behind on the disciplinary action. He's using the whip to give me a speed boost, and by doing that I'll be able to kind of strafe around and move in scope mode a little bit more effectively, although, let's be honest, the speed difference is very, very small, but I feel like it's enough to push the classic to be just a little bit more useful, a little bit more viable. And for whatever reason, it actually seemed to be working really, really well. The secondary I comboed it with was the Cozy Camper, and that was really helpful. This is a strat you need a teammate for, but it's not a medic, so you're both going to be running out of health. With the soldier running the black box and the conch, he's going to have no problem with health. And with you running the Cozy Camper, its regen actually gets really, really high really quickly, so you can kind of stay on the front lines and always charging up your next shot. You should have a fully charged shot ready pretty much all the time. It was also really useful for fighting enemy snipers. They don't expect you to move that tiny bit faster, and you're at such a massive disadvantage versus other snipers. I mean, you only deal headshot damage if you are fully charged, meaning you have to wait for the whole charge to happen before you peek. So having the extra bit of speed to kind of juke them out is super useful. And it's useful against other classes too, like you can kind of dawdle side to side, and maybe you might dodge a pipe, maybe you might dodge a rocket, but that might be all the difference you need in order to secure a kill. Oh, this was tragic. I was charging up my shot, the soldier is ready to be killed, he gets bonked, and the scout knocks him away, so I can't hit my shot. Thanks a lot. I mentioned this before, but the close quarters defense of the classic is not to be underestimated. When you have a fully charged shot, there's no need to scope in, meaning you can look around full 360-degree view of your enemies and shoot any spies or any scouts getting on you for 135 damage with only a body shot, which is really all you need provided they're not overhealed. Another thing is that players have no respect for classic snipers. They see a classic sniper not scoped in, just standing around. They don't assume he has a fully charged shot, and they end up doing very silly things, like this heavy we're about to see. Just a little tip, if you're facing classic sniper, do not rev up in front of him. What are you doing? One thing that's really weird about the classic, at least to me, when I realized it, is that you should always be aiming for the head if you can get it, because all body shots have a 10% damage penalty, and headshots, even if they don't crit, will still do more damage. It's really weird, hard to wrap my head around it, but if you don't want to get those 135 damage body shots, you can get a little bit more by aiming at the head, but if you're fully charged, you know, of course go for those headshots and get that 450 damage, which is what the classic was made to do. Probably the most surprising thing about this strategy is just how well I was scoring. I was getting like top scores and top threes pretty frequently, which was really weird for this weapon. I suppose the whip is just all it needed to push it over into being completely broken in pubs, right? And there we have it. This is a really fun strategy you can pull off if you have a friendly soldier patient enough to whip you all the time. It might be hard to find someone who's willing to do that, but if they do, I think you'll enjoy the classic a lot more than before. And once again, this is a terrible tactic, so don't expect it to be effective, but I think this combo of weapons is definitely worth the highlight, and you know, more classic gameplay on my channel is always welcome, right? Anyway, that's all I got for you right now. Until next time, why don't I catch you later? Bye.